Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to know if anybody has listened to Come Alive, that amazing, amazing song from The Greatest Showman movie. I still love that soundtrack. One of my daughters, Zoe, was so in love with that movie and she got me hooked on it. We've watched it quite a few times, but the soundtrack for it is absolutely phenomenal. And that song, Come Alive, it's everything that sums up this work we're doing. Good morning, Leah. It's lovely to see you. So I want to know who listened to it. I popped it in the email this morning to listen to, and it's, the lyrics, dreaming with your eyes wide open. That is exactly what we are doing. Today we're going to put together your master plan, which is super, super exciting. And I just want to remind everyone, good morning, Dorinda. It's lovely to see you here. As you're coming in, please take a minute to say good morning. Let me know who's here. It is always lovely to see everyone. Caroline, good morning. I always wonder, is it some people are Carolyn, some people are Caroline? There's different ways. I hope I'm saying it right. Kim, good morning, darling. Well, afternoon for you. Hey, Debbie, I hope things are okay in your world, honey. Kim, you listened. Yes, well done. I love people that follow the coaching. It's awesome. Janet, good morning, honey. Good morning, Leslie. Well, evening for you. Thank you, Gia, for popping that in. So what I want to do first and foremost, is today gets to be fun. It's so hardwired into our systems that when you've got a workbook, you turn up and it's like, right, I've got to get this right. And it's not. The energy that you get to approach this with is, planning your wedding or planning the most magical celebration for your 50th or 60th birthday, or planning something that is amazing and fun and exciting and you're looking forward to it. So please bring that energy with you. I think that having music is the most magical way to up that feeling in your system and to get you all fired up and excited. But whatever you need to do, some of you saw on Facebook this morning, I shared, we had the most divine start to the day here in Torquay, and I was down at the beach ready to get in the water about 6:30 this morning. I was a little bit late, and I could see we gather as a group, and then we go together, support each other to get in the ocean at 6:30 in the morning, and everybody was on their way into the water already when I arrived, so I was just a minute late. But the sunrise this morning, this is the stuff of life. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because in order to have these magical moments in our lives, it often takes getting a bit uncomfortable. When nothing that is changed, nothing that is different is easy, and it's not easy. And then we can beat ourselves up and make ourselves wrong, make ourselves feel somehow like we're not in the right mindset or the right frame of mind, or, something is lacking or not good enough. But it's not. It's just being okay with doing things that are uncomfortable. I've talked a little bit about my process of starting this swimming, and there were lots of uncomfortables. There was putting on bathers, the liberation that has come with just letting go of this hardwired story about how I look in bathers has not only led to me showing up to go swimming every morning with this beautiful group of people. They're just the most amazing women that I probably wouldn't have otherwise met. But there's all these benefits of, we talk about these things. And then yesterday, Valentine's Day, my gorgeous husband, Laurie, who for anybody that has heard me talk about him knows he's an absolute fish. We have a little joke between ourselves. We call him Merman Daddy. For anyone that's watched, what's that movie? Blue Steel. I think it's Blue Steel. Anyway, he's Merman. He's in the water. He's in the ocean for an hour or two every day without fail. He's an absolute fish. But I'm not, and I haven't been, and it's new. So getting up, getting out of bed, getting into bathers, all these things were, like one of my big things is forgetting people's names. I'm terrified of offending people because I'm just a shocker at remembering people's names. And so, like these are all steps of getting through these uncomfortable steps in order to now have this experience that I'm having. And if I didn't take those uncomfortable steps every step of the way and make myself do it, I wouldn't be having these beautiful experiences now. Like they might all sound like tiny things, but where I was going with Laurie was yesterday we went for Valentine's Day. He took me down. We went down to Point Addis and went for a swim together. And it was just beautiful. And even with my divinely, incredibly fit hunk of a spunk of a husband that's covered in all the lovely muscles and stuff, and I just feel like a big squishy marshmallow whenever I'm around him. I was so unself-conscious and so happy just to have my bathers on, and we went in the ocean together. And, these little steps of uncomfortable have unlocked all these other parts of me that just gives me this sense of aliveness and adds to my experience of loving life. So I share that with you because I want to encourage you as you're putting together this master plan to step through the little uncomfortable bits. You have a fear of sharks, stay in the shallows, honey. Morning, just leaving for the gym, driving home. It's lovely to have you here. So today we're pulling together your master plan. You've got all the information. We've done the work. So through day one, and we did what you want to do, then what you want to have, your feelings that you're wanting to evoke, and the intentions behind the things that you're choosing, and then who you get to be, who you need to be in order to be doing and having the things that you want to do. But also, it is that stepping into becoming even more of the woman that you want to be. So I hope everybody enjoyed yesterday's training. It is something that I just think is so liberating, so exciting. If you can peel back the layers of yourself that have held you back. The number of women in this beautiful swimming group that have talked about, having issues with their body and not wanting to be seen in bathers on the beach, all these things that we've carried over since we were teenagers get to be let go of. One of the big things that has come up in previous, it actually hasn't come up in this one, but I think it's relevant nonetheless, is why are we so scared of looking silly still? Why are we letting this fear of what other people think still hold us back, stop us from doing the pole dancing class? What are people going to think? Everybody will think I'm, look ridiculous, or think something, I've lost my marbles if I sign up for this class, or whatever it is. We get to give ourselves permission that this is our one magical, beautiful life. Tomorrow is promised to no one. And I don't say that to be doomy and gloomy, but it is about how we staying in this present moment, looking at the people around us with open hearts and enormous love, doing things that are really deeply meaningful and profoundly fulfilling, so that we are creating this life that we love living now. We get to have a plan for all the things that we want to bring to life, but we are stepping into this in this very second. It's not something that is going to be off in the future. It is happening now. So has everybody got their master plans? I'm hoping that everyone has it. For those of you that are not in the Vision Builders Inner Circle, just pen and paper is perfect. Hopefully you've brought with you the things that you want to do, the things you want to have, who you need to be to get to make it happen. And we're just going to transfer all of that into a neat little master plan. This is something that I talk about it like a living document, and it is something that you can come back and tweak. You can set the intention to do it every 90 days. You can set the intention to have a different one for different areas of your life. Whatever works for you, you will have this plan to tweak, to make sure it works for your brain. I'm just making sure It looks like once again my video is slightly jittery this side. I hope it's okay for you. I think I've got a new computer is going to be part of what gets to happen soon. Just printed beautiful workbook. Fantastic, Leah. Fantastic. So with your master plan, can I share my screen? Is that something I can do? I know I've done it in the past. Present. Slides? No. From your computer, maybe? No. Okay. It's going to be a fiddle. So I don't want to interrupt anything. Pull out your master plan, and what we're doing is taking all the things that you want to do and have, and we're moving it into a nice, neat document. Now, the reason we're taking them off the first workbook is because that's essentially a brain dump. Now, as you have gone through and done the work behind how it's going to make you feel, because remember, the things that we want to do and have, we want those things because of how they're going to make us feel. So, and then the intention behind them, are we wanting those things because we believe that it is going to make somebody else proud of us or give us a higher level of significance, rather than it being genuinely something that we want? And sometimes doing that work shifts things. It's like, actually, I've had my eye on this particular prize for a long time, but in doing this work, I've realized that that's actually not so important to me. What makes me come alive, what makes me feel amazing, gives me, those 6 human needs, that sense of certainty, uncertainty, variety, excitement, the sense of significant growth, love and connection and contribution. Allow this to come in. Don't allow this to become overwhelming. I just want to give you that permission right now. I've given you everything you need. Don't feel like you've suddenly got to grapple with something else. Just allow this is you being in your feminine, and I am pouring this into you. The knowledge is in you. The wisdom is in you. You are just receiving, okay? So you've received this. You've got it all here. Now we're just taking the bits that still matter, the things that jump out as like, this is a non-negotiable. This is something that I truly want, and it's going to go onto your master plan. So we're breaking it down into health, wealth, time, and love. Your health is your physical and mental health. All right. So the things that you want to do and have in order to achieve the physical and mental health that you want. I'll give you a few minutes just to write down a few things. Of course, this is something that you can come back to. And if you've got any questions, I'm watching the chat. Let me know. Be okay as we go through this that there's a bit of crossover. I'm not sure where this goes. I'm not sure if this is something that goes in this section or this section. Just trust yourself. It's your brain. It only has to mean something to you. Nobody else. There's no getting it wrong. This is what is right for you. This is your life, your master plan, okay? So physical and mental health. What are the things that you want to do and have in order to achieve the physical health you desire? Where are you in your level of fitness? Are you at the I need to get off the couch stage? Are you at the I need to go from walking for half an hour a day to an hour a day? I'm at half an hour a day and I need to start lifting weights? My gorgeous client, Linda LeGras, who is the most amazing personal trainer. For anybody that is in Melbourne, you need to look this woman up. I was speaking to her yesterday about this and the different, like understanding the different levels and the next best step. And I was talking to her because I guess she's a client, I'm helping her with different things, but equally, I'm an ideal client for her because I am yet to start doing the whole weightlifting thing. It's one of those, it's a little bit like the swimming, the cold water immersion. I knew it was something that was going to be really good for me. I knew I should be doing it, but I just hadn't connected to that piece that got me across the line. I know everyone's going to relate to this. And my next thing is, I know that lifting weights and building my muscle strength is one of the things that's super important. So, it's like bouncing these ideas around, being tuned into people that are having the same conversation. Make yourself accountable to somebody so that you're getting yourself across that line. What's your next step for your physical health? And then what are the things that you want to do and have to create the mental health you desire? Do weights every week. So good for the body and mind. Yes, Fiona, I know. And you've got the master trainer of master trainers where you are as well. I know, the strongest woman in Australia or something. She's amazing. Weightlifting. Do cardio all day long but still working on the weights. Yes. So that's part of the vision, Leslie. Gone are the days when I was lifting babies and, like the big heavy bags, feeding 6 people at the groceries. My groceries have shrunk. I'm no longer carting around babies, all the things that kept me strong for many, many years. I now need to come up with another way to get that up and in a better place. So the next, that's so interesting. My brain's just gone on an absolute I've just got all these visions of all the ways that I used to maintain my strength. I used to chop my own wood, and I had a flower farm, and there were all these things that gave me natural strength that I'm no longer do anymore. It's really interesting. Anyway, I'm sure there's different things in your life, in your past, that you've done, and maybe you are maintaining that. It's not only happening at the gym, but for those of us that don't have all those things that are keeping us strong anymore, maybe the gym's the next answer. So the next one on your list is wealth. What are the things that you want to do and have to create the wealth and sense of abundance that you desire? So go back to your do and have lists. What are the things that are non-negotiables, that are jumped out at you, that are really important? If anybody's got any things that are coming up that you can share in the comments that might inspire other people, please do. It is an act of generosity. It truly is. What helps one helps many. So you can come back to this. Don't feel like it all has to be done right now, but we will get this done today. Yep. Anybody stuck on anything? Anybody have any questions? So the master plan is about coming up with the things that you want to do and have in order to achieve the mental health, the physical health, the wealth. Does that answer your question, Leslie? Invest wisely to provide ongoing wealth for the family. Absolutely. Absolutely. So the next one is time. What are the things on your do and have list that you want to create the time for? Awesome, Leslie. So time for the things that matter most to you. What are they? What are those things that you wrote down that still jump out as non-negotiables that you have caught yourself saying, if I had more time, I would, or when time permits, I will? In wealth, I have always had that I want to be a multimillionaire, but I keep dimming that. I feel shame or something around this. I get it, Leah. I absolutely get it. So there are likely several layers to this. There's worthiness issues. There's the belief that you can. There is you may be getting stuck in the how you can do it. There's lots of layers to it. And the beauty, remember, in doing this vision building work is to let go of the how. You don't have to worry in this point. You don't have to worry at any time. But you are not in this process. It's all about the what. So you get to own that. When you're ready to share it with other people, you get to share it with other people. It's this is for you. This is something you want, and we'll go into who you need to be to make this happen shortly. But in essence, it's unapologetic. This is something I want, and so I'm going to declare it. If you need a permission slip, I'm giving it to you wholeheartedly. Gardening to create a food forest. Caroline, you're my kind of woman. Absolutely. Guilty carving out time to read a novel. That's really interesting. I wonder what it's founded in. I think there is a lot of this culture that has hardwired us into being in doing mode all the time. It's like you've got to be doing something, and if you're not doing something, you're wasting time or you're lazy. And so part of it is just acknowledging that reading is, you just get to look at the most successful people in the world and they are avid readers. The Oprah Winfreys and Tony Robbins and, the Steve Jobses and pick whoever you want. Reading is so important for our minds in so many ways, whether it is through fiction or non-fiction. All is beautiful, all is important. And it landed in my brain how this might help you, Fiona, and help other people, is that we want our kids to read. We know how important it is. So it's part of role modeling what we want them to be doing as well. I hope that helps. I feel if it's not a self-development book, you feel like it's a waste of time. And how would you speak to somebody you loved or a best friend about that? Because that's probably going to give you the language that you need. Somebody, if a precious girlfriend or somebody you really loved said to you, I get so much pleasure from reading, but I just feel like it's a waste of my time, and I really don't, I feel guilty if I prioritize it. How would you speak to them? And then you get to speak to yourself the same way. I often, it's just such a great set point. How would I, and I do this higher person journaling exercise that we do with our higher self. And you give your higher self another name. And then you have a conversation. How would you speak to that higher self? Awesome. And then the escapism, a form of self-love. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And, it's, if you get joy from it, is that not the perfect reason? If it gives you pleasure, if it helps to, remember I talked about that nervous system that we get to really focus on unwinding. If it helps you to unwind your nervous system. My favorite time to read is with a coffee in the morning, on the weekends, and before I go to sleep. There's some nights that I only get to read 2 or 3 pages. I can remember a time when I read and I would get so lost in a book, I'd be like, oh my gosh, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I've really got to close this. But that's how much I love reading. That total immersion in a fabulous book is just like this soul nourishment. And so then the fourth category is love. So maybe you get to put this as a, part of one of the things that you get to do or have in the self-love section. Love for self is reading. One of the things you're going to do is start reading. Personal responsibility. I am 100% responsible for my health and happiness. So out of responsibility to me, what do I get to do? Unapologetically, what do I get to do? And some of that gets to be uncomfortable. It's not all about bathing in milk and rose petals and massages and lying in bed reading books. Some of it is getting yourself out the door for a walk in the morning, or getting yourself to a art class, if that's a form of self-love, something to really nourish you and fill your cup up. Did I mention this yesterday? I'm trying to remember if I did. It was a conversation I was having with a client, and we were talking about different ways to understand nourishing the feminine and the masculine, and how we think about it. As a visual person, we know that feminine is receiving and masculine is giving. Okay, so if feminine is receiving and we get to support the feminine energy within us, I visualize it that receiving is filling your cup up, and the fuller your cup is, the more that overflows and impacts the people around you. So if you want the people around you to be healthier and happier and feel supported and loved and cherished, then you get to fill your cup so full that it overflows to the people around you. We can't give from an empty cup. You can't. Everybody on here, I am absolutely, I know with 100% conviction, have got yourself to a place where you're so depleted and empty, you have nothing left to give. We've all done it. As I keep saying, we've been on this journey called life for long enough to have had all these experiences and this wealth of knowledge and understanding, and it's all in here. And if you've been there, you know you don't want to go back, and you may be there right now. So part of this, in fact, I know there are people on this call that are. So part of this is going right as an act of personal responsibility. If I look after myself, I am going to be better, a better mum, a better wife, a better woman, a better colleague, a better everything for everybody around me. If I get this cup so full that everybody around me feels better just for being in my orbit. Crave creating things like paintings, drawings, sewing. Self-love to me is to have fun creating and feel satisfied with it. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. The nourishment that comes from being in your creative energy is just next level. I read somewhere that we should fill the cup for ourselves, and it's the overflow, the saucer, that we can then give freely. Yep, absolutely. So love for self and love for others. So part of what we've just talked about is that overflow. So what are the things that you want to do and have in order to fill your cup to overflowing, to nourish your self-love, to take responsibility for what you need? And then there is the love for others, so for significant others. So thinking about, once again, going back to your do and have list, where are you at in your relationship with your significant other, with your children, with your parents if they're still alive, with your colleagues at work, with the person that serves you at the supermarket, with other people? And I appreciate it's probably easiest to start with the people if you live with other people, the people in your immediate environment, and then, just work out from that. And how do you want to experience that? I think I find that it seems to work well as a quick check-in to just don't overthink it. Give yourself a score of 1 out of 10 or 0 out of 10. If your relationship is at a 0, it is really bad. It is super bad. You're wondering if there is any way forward. If it's a 0 and then 10 is like next level amazing, extraordinary. There is nothing that needs to change. Your love and connection and sense of joy and fun and ability to be vulnerable and ability to feel safe, ability to feel heard, all those things are amazing. So 0 to 10 with significant other, with children. I've already gone through the list with other people. So where is it at? And what are the things that you want to do and have in order to get it to where you want it to be? And if you need to shake it off because it's just got a bit heavy and a bit like homework that's serious, remember, come back. This is fun. This is your life. This gets to be like, oh my gosh, is this really the life that I get to live? Is this, oh my gosh, it's that wedding day. This is the wedding. Oh my gosh. I am so, 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 so excited. I cannot believe that things get to be this fabulous. We want it to be at that, like, this is amazing. So then it's your love for life. What are the things that you want to do and have that really feed that delight, that wonder and awe and excitement, that bounce out of bed because today I get to jump in the ocean, catch up with a friend, go for a hike, go to this job, have a hot date, take my daughter to the theatre. What makes you come alive? I've got my F words that are things that just light me up, bring me joy, and they're simple. Fresh flowers. My house is always full of fresh flowers. I go to the farmer's market on a Saturday morning and I buy flowers. And it is just one of those, gives me that sense of aliveness. And I always buy them as buds, typically. I shouldn't say always, typically, and watch them, and it just continues to feed that, being in full bloom, that opening that is happening all the time in our own lives. It's a reflection of that. And then there's the perfume, it's that sensory overload. And then, like, it's the visual delight. It's everything about it just brings me joy. So my F words are fresh flowers, fabulous food, fine fashion, the way I dress, adorn the goddess, the way I dress myself just brings me joy. If I think about it too hard, I can't remember them. Fresh flowers, fabulous food, fine fashion, fun, family, friends, fairy lights. Who are my fairy light fans? If I'm, looking at a row of restaurants and I'm like, which one are we going to go? Where are we going to go to eat? And one has fairy lights. I'm like, that's my restaurant. Love fairy lights. They make me happy. They just make me happy. So we've got my gorgeous husband strung up fairy lights around our outdoor eating area. They come on every night. I can see through to that area from my kitchen. I've got fairy lights in my bedroom. I love fairy lights. This tree, I don't know if you can see. I don't think it won't be. I don't think you can see them. It lights up at night. You can't see them when I turn them on during the day. What brings you light? Yes, fairy lights. Thank you. Yes, and lanterns. Yes, lanterns. We used to make lanterns when my kids were little every winter solstice, they would make their own lanterns, and we'd pop a little tea light candle in them, and it was just magic, just magic. So what are those things that feed your love for life? Feeling amazing in your body. It's pretty hard to love life when you feel heavy, sluggish, tired, not great in your physical health. So they all, like these, I think about these as all like little pieces of a puzzle, and they all come together to create this amazing experience. Love fairy lights. My Zen garden is a glorious sight in the evening. Oh, I've got all these espalier fruit trees in my. I want to add fairly badly espalier fruit trees. They're all a bit overgrown, but yes, we have lights in those as well. Dancing, yes. Meditation, absolutely, absolutely. I have a beautiful meditation that I do every morning that connects me with my guides, and from that I do a meditation, and I do it every morning, and it is like connecting with the most safe, beautiful spirits that only have my highest good in their hearts. There's no judgment, there's no wrong, there's only what is best. Smelling my herbs in my herb garden, beach, mountains, sunrise, sunset. Yes. If you've got herbs in your garden and you can pull off a bit of rosemary or a bit of lavender and just rub it in your hands, that's aromatherapy, and it's magic. If you can pull fruit off a fruit tree and smell, like even I'm picking tomatoes straight out of the garden at the moment, and that burst of flavor, what do you do to awaken your senses? I'm giving you a lot here, but I've done this whole series on awakening your senses, and it is, don't forget, the sound. Close your eyes and put on an extraordinary, Pavarotti singing Nessun Dorma, and that sound, the sound that just envelops you and just brings you into the present. Look around you with wonder and awe. Look at your pets, look at your children, look at your partner, and just look at them with reverence and love. Look, the smells of food cooking or green grass, or just start to notice, taste. Next time this morning or today, the next mouthful of food you take, don't let it be a mindless consumption. Close your eyes, take a breath, like a bite of apple, and just that explosion of flavor and the texture and appreciation and gratitude of the earth, the wind, the sun that ripened it, and now you get to consume it, and then what it's actually doing for your body. And can you see how all these little things can awaken that sense of aliveness, that sense of love for the life you're living? I hope so. So then the next piece down is choosing. I want you to choose 3 words. Choosing 3 words. This is who you get to be in order to do and have the things that you want to do and have. This is not who you feel you are right now. These are the words that are pulling you up and forward. So it's got to give you that sense of reaching. This is who I am growing into. This is who I get to become. This is who I need to be in order to bring this vision to life. Now, the way that I like to do it is I choose a word that fits the worker model. So remember, we're looking at like the visionary, being the big picture person in your life, the worker, and the luxuriator. So the masculine, the feminine, and the visionary. don't get too caught up in this. Okay, don't allow this to be, I don't know exactly, I need to get this right. You don't have to get this right. It's how it makes you feel. It's how it makes you feel. So you did your being words yesterday. I'd love you to pick, what is the one that is going to get you, pull you up and forward into worker mode. Determined, courageous, bold, organized, passionate. Imagine being passionate about your life. It's like having that appetite for life. There is that fabulous movie, Auntie Mame. Has anybody seen Auntie Mame? Anybody need a recommendation for a fabulous movie? Connected, yes. So in Auntie Mame, one of the most classic lines, she says, Rosalind, what's her name? Rosalind, somebody. What's her name? Janet, can you? Anyway, the actress. And she says, life is a banquet, but most poor buggers are starving to death. And I just love that. Don't be starving to death. Life is a banquet. So what if you are passionate, connected? Yeah. Then think about maybe the feminine, the more feminine. What is the word that's going to support you to fill your cup up? Is it playful, fun, adventurous? What is it? If anyone's stuck, let me know. And then there's the visionary. I think, there is room in here for gratitude and generosity. And for anyone that receives my emails, you know that I sign everything with gratitude and generosity. And I just think that gratitude, so a lot of people like to choose a theme for their year. And this is something that can be separate to your 3 being words, or you can incorporate it. You don't have to get this right. This is just suggestions. Do what sparks you. And I think, if you want to have a theme, I've had different themes over the years. This year, I am focusing even more on gratitude, because I know that is the path to joy and a sense of abundance, is through really understanding and being deeply connected to the gratitude for everything that you have. So you can, over the years, I've had courageous, I've had phenomenal, I've had audacious, I've had, different theme words. I love the word audacious. Love it. Magical. Oh, Rosalind Russell. Yeah, that's it. She did the best version of Auntie May, if anyone wants to watch that. Okay. So that is it for today. The affirmation section we're going to do tomorrow. So please don't skip ahead. Stay in this piece that I'm guiding you to do. Keep your focus on one thing at a time. And I promise, step by step by step, you're going to have everything you need to create your vision board. So any questions that come up, please don't hesitate to let me know. Remember, at any point, if you start to contract into that kind of trying to get it right and it's hard and you go into kind of that concentration mode, do something to expand. Do something to go, this gets to be easy. This gets to be fun. This gets to be a delight. I'm excited. Remember the language? I'm excited to do this. I am finding this so fun. Program. Yeah, it's program. You're so welcome, Janet. Tomorrow we're going to do your affirmations. For anybody that's done a vision board with me before, this is a new piece that I have found super, super impactful. It has actually replaced having quotes and all sorts of other things on my vision board. And I feel as though this is something that is really going to up level your experience of having a vision board. And it's fun. So we're going to bring everything that you've already done, including your master plan, create your affirmations, and you will have pretty much everything that you need to do your vision board. Now, I've had requests to change. The vision board was put in for Friday, my time. I've had a request to move it to Saturday. I am open to feedback on that for people that would like, and I know there's so many people that I think there's nearly 70 people who are registered, and then there's other people who are not registered that are watching this as well in the Facebook group. If you want to, I'll keep that open, and I'm open to feedback. And I will let you know tomorrow whether we're going to do your actual vision board on the Friday or the Saturday. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your vote is. You can take a vote. And I'm open to jigging things just a little bit and doing it on Saturday if that's the feedback that I get. All right, wishing you the most fabulous rest of your day. If you've got questions, I'm here to support you every step of the way. Don't allow yourself to get stuck. Don't allow yourself to get in a place where you start to pull back because it feels hard or it feels uncomfortable. This is all about leaning in. So if I can support you, don't hesitate to let me know. All right, wishing you a beautiful day ahead. That's it from me today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.